And pledge allegiance.
Oh my God. I just got in there.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Let me pull the table out. Yeah, pull the table.
Try to get up and sit in the chair.
I made it 2 minutes into the meeting. Thank you. Thank you. You cut the video on that, right?
Good evening, everybody. Should I have a motion to open up the town board meeting March 28, 2024?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good evening, everybody. First public hearing on the agenda is introductory law number 4 of 2024, repealing the town of Goshen local law number 5 of 2023 related to the removal of certain utility poles and creating a new chapter 87 of the town of Goshen code entitled utility poles. Do I have a motion to open the town, public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any comments from the public? Any comments from the board?
Except that there's going to be modifications to it, right?
Yeah, I'll explain that as we go further on. I won't close it. Can I get a motion to close the public
We're
hearing?
not closing it.
No,
Yep, I'm sorry.
Adjourning it.
Yes, can I get a motion to adjourn the public hearing until May 23rd, 2024?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll just give a reason why we're doing that is Orange and Rockland indicated to me 2 days ago that there's some verbiage in there that is incorrect in the law that we passed because they don't own all of the telephone poles. They're owned by Blow Telephone, Frontier, Spectrum, and a couple of others. So they just want clarification of that and they want us to know which ones are theirs. So I'm gonna take care of that. We'll hold it up until May 23rd and then we'll close it on May 23rd. Can I have a, okay, introductory law number, second public hearing, introductory law number 6 of 2024, amending chapter 50 entitled Electrical Inspections of the Code of the Town of Goshen to update provisions related to electrical standards and inspection in conformance with the New York State Uniform Fire Protection and Building Code. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any comments from the public? Okay. Anything from the board?
But this is just is specified by the state of New York for us to pursue.
It just updates the electrical code, that's all, yeah.
Nothing we're inventing, it's the state of New York.
It's the state of New York code that Frank is asking to update so that we align ourselves and conform to New York State code.
Right.
All right, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Can I have a motion to adopt local, I'm sorry, second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adopt local law number 4 of 2024?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
You said number 4, should be number 6.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Introductory law number 7 of 2024, authorizing the Joint Rec Commission to establish rules and regulations regarding town parks. Can I have a motion to open that public hearing?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any comments from the public?
Yes,
sir.
absolutely. Jonathan Adamo. They're unelected officials with absolutely no accountability. As I'm sure some of you know, I submitted a FOIL request for the employees of the commission, and I was denied, which was just wholly invalid. If I had the time to bring you to court, I would have, but I don't have the time to bring you to an Article 57 hearing. So they're unelected bureaucrats of both the town and the village, so they absolutely should not be able to provide regulations. That's your job. Thank you.
Anybody aware of the FOIL that he's been talking about?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any comments on it?
No.
No?
He has procedural opportunities other than disagreeing with it. I don't mean that disrespectfully.
I submitted extensive case law and precedents, and I was ignored, so that's baloney.
I respectfully disagree, but there's process.
They're public employees, which that means that all of their information is subject to FOIL request. Their names, their applications of employment, their pay stubs, obviously with account information and personal contact information to be withdrawn. That's basic FOIL law. So I was denied.
Age have anything to do with that?
I'm not gonna get into, he knows the decision, it was written to him, if he disagrees with it, which it sounds like he does, and that's, I'm not right on everything, there's a process that he can utilize to challenge the decision.
Okay. Any other comments?
But so real quick, if I am unable to find out who these people are, they absolutely should not be able to create laws and regulations for public property. That is kind of counterproductive. You're talking unelected bureaucrats that are undiscoverable. You can't even know their names. So they're allowed to create laws and regulations for property I own. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Are we talking about the board, the Joint Recreation Commission? Is that what we're talking about?
I asked for names, I asked for all the employment information for the JRC and all park employees, and I was denied. All I got was a couple names, no titles, and an Excel spreadsheet of what they made, which is unverifiable. So I can't even verify their pay. So if they're going to be making rules, then all of their information needs to be public record, wholly 100%. And anyone that works for them needs to be public record.
So they're establishing rules and regulations relative to the park itself.
Correct, which is public
Accessing
property.
park, correct.
So they should not be able to create rules when there is no accountability to them. The public has no way to redress their grievances directly to them, so therefore,
The Joint Recreation Commission meets once a month, and you're more than welcome. It's an open forum for all.
I should be able to contact them, I should be able to reach out, I should know who they are.
And you can go to the meeting and contact them and voice your opinion on whether you have concerns with what they're doing. I'm kind of lost. I mean, you want to just what? Show up at the door?
I want to know all their information. I want to know who they are, I want to know all the public information. If they're public information, like you, I can contact and get your information. You're an elected official, right? You are creating law. If you are creating law, which is what that is, rules and regulations are laws, then I need to know everything about that person.
Joe, the FOIL was towards joint rec employees. It's the Joint Rec Commission, which is a board of 5, 4,
6,
6.
including
That will be
two,
setting the rules and regulations.
including 2 members, one of the village and one of the town board.
Right, he didn't
That's
FOIL
all.
for the commission.
Yeah, so you didn't.
I asked for all park employees.
They're not park employees.
You can email me if you think that there's additional things you want on the FOIL. I answered the FOIL. Sorry, it's not up to your standard. There's a
That's
meeting,
fine.
there's a joint rec commission meeting that's open to the public. They'll be sitting right on the dais with placards in front of them. Those names, when you ask for, were given, and that's really the end of the discussion.
And they're
Any-
volunteers, there's no salary, no pay for them. They don't get paid.
That's irrelevant. They're not.
Well, you're arguing that you haven't got pay stubs.
But why are unelected people creating law? You're elected, you create the
You know
law.
what, that's,
So it's,
that may be a question.
we're getting into,
That-
So if I break the regulations, what, you're arrested?
Hold on.
I mean, it's pretty, if a park's closed and you go on the property of a park that's closed.
But that's a law, that's already in the law of the town of Goshen. What they're doing, will I be subject to arrest if I break the law? Yes or no?
If you break the law, yeah, I would.
So they're creating law. If the police are
How
able
about you
to
give me
arrest
an
me.
example, so I can address it, and you do it, you can email me an example, but at this point, I think the discussion's over. Otherwise, you can send a question to me and I'll address it the best I can.
So, I just wanna make sure.
Give me a rule or regulation that you're concerned about, send it to me via email and I'll address it. But I don't think this is
Alright, okay,
the
so
forum,
Phil-
it's not the forum for
Yeah,
this
Phil, you get
particular.
your question?
Yeah, I just wanna make sure I understand this clearly. What we're doing is establishing the local law, not them. We're establishing a local law that they are allowed to make rules and regulations for the park. They're not, this law is the town board and the town board purview. We're giving them authorization to make rules and regulations because they run the park and so on and so forth. That's all we're doing. Now, if there's something that we're doing improper, then you need to tell us, our attorney.
No, I don't believe it's the issue. His issue now with the board is with the next layer that is imposing the rules and regulations at the behest of your authority,
Right. but it's-
and he doesn't agree with some of the rules and regulations.
But
I would-
what Phil is saying, it's
Yeah.
rules and regulations, it's not law.
Well,
Correct.
It's
as
we
long
are-
as
but the
the-
authority to make it is
Right.
bestowed upon him by the board. It's been through an IMA.
No, but he's indicating that they are making the law,
I understand that.
and they're not.
But
We
so,
are.
real quick, just want to
So
clarify.
just want to make sure that we all
Absolutely,
understand.
no,
what
you
we're
know,
saying.
because you're right.
Okay,
So
okay.
if you create this law, right, and then they
Yeah.
decide that you're not allowed to wear a yellow shirt inside the park, right?
Yes.
They would have the authority to do that under your law because you've given them that authority. If I wear a yellow shirt, will the town of Goshen police be able to arrest me for breaking the law? Yes or no?
Those are rules and regulations, it's not the law.
So then what's the
The
penalization?
rules and regulations like any other institution has.
Okay, so then it's irrelevant, because they're not enforceable, so
Well,
continue.
I'm not sure if they're not or are.
Well, the police can only enforce law, so then there's kind of irrelevant.
No, no.
You can direct your questions to me.
Yeah.
I would put them in written form so you can memorialize it. I'll give you the best answer I can give you. If it's outside of my knowledge area, I'll try and get you an
You have
answer.
his email, Tom?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't changed.
If not, yeah, I think you do, so.
You did. Cool.
All right,
All right.
thanks.
Anytime you feel free to come in and
Appreciate it.
sit in my office
Yeah.
and discuss anything you want. I
We
have no
do.
problem.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why after they come up with the rules and regulations, they could be approved by the board? Wouldn't that be a fair compromise?
Well, we have a
I mean,
board member on there,
Yeah,
so.
so we have a board member on there that addresses to us, and then the village has a board member. The reason is to try to simplify the process, because it's two jurisdictions that control all the parks, it's us and the village. Very complex, very, they pass it, we pass it, and every time something has to happen, it takes a month to get it done. So we just determined, as well as the village, that any rules and regulations relative to, if they have to close the park, for whatever reason, it's an open forum, and everybody can weigh in on every single meeting down there. They open forum.
And we will always have the ultimate decision whether those rules and regulations meet the criteria we think they should.
Yeah,
But-
what I'm curious about though is, what's the point of it? So, rules and regulations, if that's all it is, because it's not town code, is not enforceable by law. So what's the point?
But we're not talking about law, we're talking about situations where, they wanna put lights on the field, let's say. They have a public meeting, everybody comes in, and they can rule on whether they can put lights on. Now, ultimately, the decision comes back to the board on that, because they're gonna come for us for funding or something like that, so we do have a decision in that.
But that's not a rule or regulation, that's maintenance and upgrades. I'm
That's
talking,
all-
like,
but these are-
my example before, not allowed to wear a yellow shirt, right? That's what you'd be able to do. Right now, you're the only one that have the authority, they're allowed to provide, that's what I'm saying.
Give me something that's a little bit more.
Well, the one that you're worried about, which one is that? Since we can
What, which
narrow the
rule or
scope of this,
regulation?
because it's not, the yellow shirt's not your concern. Your
No,
concern is
my
what?
concern is there an unelected bureaucrat being able to dictate policy.
We got that answer.
But it's not
Yeah.
policy, it's just rules.
Yeah.
So they.
Unelected bureaucrats telling me what I can do on public property, period.
Through the authority
That's
of the
issue.
elected officials, which has just been answered like 4 times. So again, I'm gonna ask that this discussion end.
You're advocating, sorry, all right, never mind. So you're advocating your responsibility to unelected people. That's my issue then.
All right, so that's the issue. But any other questions you can direct to me, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Neil?
I think I'm gonna argue the other way, oddly enough. On 3211, where it talks about commercial enterprises, my only concern here is that you seem to be restricting their ability to require prior authorization to commercial businesses only. And I think it's probably all whatever uses might be going to them. It might be a group, it might be an organization, whatever. I think you're still gonna want them to have prior authorization, and it doesn't seem to say that.
They have that jurisdiction already.
Okay,
So if a business or an entity fills out an application, it goes in front of the commission, and they vote on whether they're gonna allow it based on what their,
Okay.
the law is.
I couldn't tell what other things are occupied, except on this 3211, it definitely says, and all other commercial businesses. And I thought it should be a little bit broader than just commercial businesses. And maybe it is somewhere else in the law, but we don't have the entire law here. Thank you.
Well, 3211 starts out with, no person, firm, or corporation shall sell or offer.
And as long as we are all in agreement that it includes any organization, I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
good. Okay, where are we?
Anything else from the public? Anything from the board? Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Could I have a motion to adopt local law number 5 of 2024? So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next item.
No, I think it's.
What's that?
It's introductory 7.
It's introductory law 7, local law number 5.
So this is local law number 4.
Sorry.
That's what's on number 3.
I'm keeping track of that.
Yes, okay.
All right, next item on the agenda are the new and revised water and sewer rates. This information and review the water and sewer districts. We put together a presentation up on the, what she said, please.
Yes, I told him, I warned him.
Rather sit on the TV.
Can everybody see this?
All right, so currently, we've gone through the process of consolidating the water districts. We're going through the process of consolidating the sewer districts, but the water is done. It's one administrative district for the service of water to all residents. The benefit, as we discussed in the past, we have access to greater grant, lower cost, fund balance security, and water usage fairness. And what it does, what this consolidation did was allow us to lower the level by which we charge. We're not charging up to 10,000 now. Karina, what are we charging, 5,000?
No, there's no minimum.
There's, yeah,
So it's
There's no
per
minimum.
1,000 gallons though, right?
Yep.
So per 1,000 gallons, which is gonna benefit a lot of people that, don't use a lot of water. That's the biggest complaint since I've been here. It's me and my husband, we don't use a lot of water, and we get charged for 10,000 gallons. So I think in all fairness, it helps, the seniors in those developments, as well as young people that have no kids. So next, okay. So I'll give you a metric here of how the districts consist of. So you have 25% of the users that are under, 50% of the users that are between 7,000 and 15,000 gallons, and then 25% of the people that are over 25,000 gallons, which make up the district, each district. Okay.
Oh, sorry, is that an average of all 4 districts, or was that like, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's one district now, so everything is combined. So I'll give you the former rates. Start off by saying that these rates haven't changed since 2021. We've been trying to get this done, and we finally achieved it, so now everything is gonna formalize. So in Hamiltonian Park, the former water rate was $100.50 per quarter. Arcadia was $128.68, Stonehenge was $155.04, and Scotchtown was $93.48. I'll take you through, okay, we'll do both. And then the sewer rates were for Hamiltonian $141.30, Arcadia was $191.48, Stonehenge and Scotchtown don't have sewer. Your totals for the old rate was $311.80 in Hamiltonian, $320.16 in Arcadia, $155.04 in Stonehenge, and $93.48. The water rates effective April 1st will be, and again, I get this confused, what is the rate? It is the blue or the
green is.
green?
The green.
Okay. So, if you look at Hamiltonian Park, below average rate for water in Hamiltonian Park is gonna be $116.90, including the facility fee.
can I interrupt?
Okay.
This is up the price at the low rate of 6,847 gallons.
Low usage.
Low usage, sorry.
Karina, why don't you take us through it since you put it together?
Oh.
Could you-
Okay. The best way to see this now is your facility fee is a fixed cost. Everyone is paying that price across the board, all 4 districts. And moving forward, you'll be paying per 1,000 gallons at the rate of $7.25. So an idea of where your water portion of the bill will come to is if you're around this range, the 6,000, it's gonna be $116.90. If you're higher up in the 13s, it'll be $166.61. That's for Hamiltonian, this is for Arcadia, this is for Stonehenge, and this is for Scotchtown. And then if you have sewer, which is just Ham Park and Arcadia Hills, The fixed cost is 91.16. That is your capital costs, fixed rate, and then your price per 1,000 gallons is $12.81. And this is what it amounts to in totals, again, at these usages. So in my next slide, I put together some approximate bill costs. And if you don't know where your water usage is, you can always call. It is listed on every bill. So if you use about 5,000 gallons, which is the typical use for like a senior couple or just a single senior, water sewer collectively, it's $258.72. Just water, $103.51. And then so forth, 7,500 gallons, 10,000 gallons, 15,000 gallons, 25, 35. This is what you can expect your bill to be at.
That's it.
Yep.
Is there any way for you to provide, I mean, obviously not at this exact moment, to provide, I guess, not, never mind. I answered my question.
Okay.
So it isn't a public hearing, but I spoke to the board, and we're gonna let the audience speak for anything they want to say. So I think it's not fairness. Anybody living in these districts have some questions, we want to answer them. For the most part, you know, you slight increases, some decreases actually in sewer. But anybody have any questions?
I think if you go back to the second slide, on this, I think the
Which
map
one?
is just wrong. Back further, that one there. I think if you look at Hamiltonian Park.
Yeah, I just realized this map is not good. I
Okay,
think,
good enough.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Hamiltonian Arcadia had capital costs, and I skipped it. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I just
good
noticed it
enough.
too.
I'm okay. I don't pay it anyhow.
But I can provide that if necessary.
Thank you.
I can send you my bill if you want.
No, it's okay. I'm paying my own bills.
Okay.
I think what you're gonna see as we move forward through this and we start to fix the I&I issues, you're gonna start to see things more stabilize more. Rates are gonna get, rates will get hopefully lower, but if not, at least stabilize as we move forward and fix the piping and the water main breaks that we've had. We're trying to get a lot done in the overall districts. You know, we're out for grants right now. Delaware Engineering is gonna be writing some substantial grants for us to fix the I&I issues, to try to fix some of the piping that we have. And we have new districts coming in now, which are gonna benefit. Hamiltonian Park, Arcadia, Stonehenge will benefit from Maplewood coming in. They'll benefit from Youngs Grove coming in. They'll
Could
benefit
you
from-
elaborate how we would benefit?
Because they're gonna be paying the same rates they have there, and there's not, anything's gonna happen to their sewer lines and stuff. It'll all be brand new. So they're paying the same fixed rate as you guys are for a brand new system.
Understood.
But we did have developer agreements with these, and they give us hookup fees and other
Yeah.
things, so there's more money coming in.
And the taxpayer is not paying for any of their infrastructure at all. They are 100% their cost.
So the developer will pay for it all.
Okay.
Yep, the developer will pay for it all, and then as Doug said, you know, we have development costs that they're gonna pay into the district. Those are capital money that's going into the district.
Okay, so for what, for like issues?
Fixing things, yeah.
Okay, good, okay.
Yep.
That's my next
Updates,
question.
you know, fixing pipes that break, you know, we had a water main break in Stonehenge the other day. These are the things that we have to work on moving forward and try to isolate these problems and minimize them and be more proactive than reactive. Reactive costs us a lot of money, because unfortunately, every single one of these water main breaks always happens around 4:30, 5 o'clock every day. You know, time and a half, but we gotta get it done, we gotta get it fixed.
Raleigh Peacock, Hamiltonian Park. Where do we stand on the filter
The green
situation?
sand system, I'm glad you bring it up. We finally got approval from the Board of Health. It was just approved 2 weeks ago. It's out to bid right now, expecting bids in real soon. We anticipate that we should start construction in the next couple of weeks.
No
And
shit.
Get it through quick. Excuse me?
I said, no shit, love it.
Yeah. So, it'll be both.
Sorry.
You can strike that from the
I
minutes.
understand.
It'll be.
It's pretty, it's a pretty big deal.
It'll be to the point where the green sand system will replace everybody having to do filters in their house. The water will come out of there completely clean of all iron and manganese, so that when we add the chlorine to it, you won't get that brown coloring. You'll be able to drink and bathe clean water for the first time in probably a very long time.
Ever.
Okay,
Thank you.
ever. So, and
Can I
the
get a
good
rebate
thing
for
about,
the
the good
system
thing about it is
baseball?
all these districts are coming in, we're much more educated now because we see what's happened to all these districts. So we have money coming in from Maplewood, we have money coming in from Young's Grove, that's gonna go into escrow. And when we start to see on iron and manganese 3, 4, 5 years from now, we'll have the money to install the green sand systems in those facilities, and everybody's water will be crystal clean. But
Just offhand, what's the total cost of capital improvement, like,
for what?
for the green sand system?
The
Not our cost, total cost.
The cost that came in to do the job from Delaware, the engineer, is coming in at $1.8 million, but I think that's extremely high.
Okay.
So we'll have a better idea of what the rates are when we get the bids back from the RFP. That's gonna be going out.
Okay.
And we got 200,000 from
Senator Scoopus, yep.
And
For Hamiltonian Park, we got 200,000 from Senator Scoopus.
Okay, cool.
In a grant.
Thank you, John.
But if you go back to the community host fees, when we sit down and negotiate these, the builders say, for example, in Hamiltonian Park, when Heritage was built, they're paying the people in Hamiltonian Park for building that water tank years ago. I mean, the people there have already bought and paid for it. So we put those kinds of things in, and so we got checks from these subdivisions, both for hookup fees and for things that they had to pay for that was accumulated by the people who were existing already. So, and it's a pretty big number that we've got from all of these.
Anything else?
So each year, in the different water districts that we have, by and large, there's a couple of people that go to Florida, and for some reason, they left the hose on, or they have a toilet that's leaking. But we have a new nifty-difty way of hopefully resolving most, if not all of that. Karina, would you tell us what we do?
Yes, so if you live in Scotchtown, Stonehenge, or just about half of Arcadia, you have a new meter. It's a cellular meter. It pings to the cell tower and provides real-time data of your water usage on a daily basis. Those meters not just provide data for you to keep an eye on how much water you've used and therefore know what your bill is approximately going to be. It will also notify you if you have a leak. You can only get notified that way if you create your account on Ion Water, which is listed on the screen. I also printed out forms for you. But I also monitor the water on a daily basis. I'm not looking to see how much you use. I just check for backflow and I check for leaks, and I call you if you have a leak. So there's no more getting a $3,000 bill because you had a running toilet and you didn't know. We're gonna resolve that the day of, as long as you call a plumber, but we'll let you know.
And that 3,000 is a legitimate number to a poor resident that lived in Hamiltonian Park last year. Went away for 3 months, came back to a $3,000 quarterly bill.
So
Are the
we're getting
meters being
meters?
installed in Hamiltonian?
everybody.
Yeah, I'm in Arcadia right now, so you guys are next.
We started with the smallest, working to the largest.
cost?
Excuse me?
No cost?
No cost to you, no. It's all part of the fixed rate.
Okay, so,
It's all part of the infrastructure.
Correct. All part of the fixed rate.
No, I'm saying there is a cost.
There is, I'm sorry, it's part of the fixed rate that, we apply. It's 2 payments?
We've been paying for them by district.
I understand, but what, are the residents themselves paying for them?
No,
No, it's in the rate.
it's in the rate.
and what's the cost per unit installed? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't know
Ballpark?
off the top of my head.
No? Okay. Is there any way we can get that published somewhere, just so we have it, just to know?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's no problem.
Okay.
And get you, take a bill out, divide it by the number of units, and then give,
Yeah, it has
Brandon's
it right
cost.
on the invoice.
Yeah,
the price.
I'm sure I can get that, no problem.
Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody? At this time, can I have a motion to approve the water sewer rates as presented beginning April 1st, 2022? So moved. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item on the agenda is glasses. Marte Holdings, review and approve the stormwater construction completion guarantee in the amount of $99,700 to ensure completion of the activities related to a stormwater pollution prevention plan and maintenance guarantee in the amount of $2,250. Sean?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Marte Holdings is an application that was approved by the planning board several months ago. It consists of 3 2-bedroom houses on one 9.8 acre parcel. It's immediately adjacent to the Prospect Reservoir in the zone. The reason that it needed planning board approval was because it was multiple dwellings on one parcel, and also that it's in the reservoir overlay district. As part of that, they also need coverage under the DEC species permit for discharges, which gets them into MS4, which requires them to post these two bonds. The amount of the bonds is actually less than what the applicant's engineer estimated, because when I reviewed it, I detected a math mistake. So the only thing I would add on is the way the applicant is intending to construct these three two-family dwellings, and it's all for their own family. Mother, father, son would have a house, and I think grandfather would have a house. They want to do it in phases. So the $99,700 is the cost for all of the stormwater improvements. I would just ask you, if you approve it, that it be phased. So if they only do one house, they don't have to put the bond up for all of the work. That's a lot of money for,
Sure.
single
So
family.
divided into three.
I would just say phased, and then I can adjust it as it goes to the building department for permits.
Any problems with it, George? You have a
No,
problem?
I'm good.
Doug, okay. Right, anything else? Any other comments from the board?
No.
All right, so could I get a motion to authorize the supervisor to approve and sign all documents related to the stormwater construction completion guarantee and the SWPPP for Marte Holdings, and do it in a phased manner?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Review and approve the request for an extension of special use permit to September 12, 2024 for Goshen Solar 1 and Goshen Solar 2. Sean, that's in reference to a request they made at the planning board, correct?
They submitted a request to the planning board and also to you. I believe the applicant's attorney is here tonight if you'd like to hear him.
Yeah. I would, because of the length of time that they're requesting. Usually, maybe 6 months or 3 months, so what's going on?
Yeah, so we just need an extension of the special permit approval.
Just name.
Oh, sorry, Al Glad from Cutting Fader. Apologies, I
No
thought
problem.
last. So we just need an extension of time because your code says that the approval is under an expiration timeframe until you secure a building permit. We don't have the building permit yet. We do have the signed site plans from the planning board. I believe they felled the trees this week. I drove by the site, they are down. But one of the conditions that we need to satisfy before we get a building permit is we need to construct a wetland mitigation area per the Army Corps permit. So that is gonna take some time. So that's basically, the one thing that's holding us up from getting a building permit.
So you think it's gonna take about a year to do that particular?
I hope not. I mean, the trees are down, so they can start working on it, because we got them down in time. But we were just asking for a time just in case.
Does
So
this
we're not
coincide
bad.
with the extension they asked for the planning board, the September 12th date?
In part, when they asked the planning board for the extension, they also had asked for, and I'm sure you can explain it, they had asked the planning board to allow them to do the wetland mitigation at a later date. The planning board was not in favor of that, so now they have this linear path where they need to, before they get a building permit, construct a mitigated wetland. And that does take some time, there's some germination and some vegetation requirements associated with that.
Okay.
And your special permit under your code, the way it's structured is that it's tied to the building permit. So the expiration is tied to the building permit. So they're saying that by the time we get the wetlands done, it's going to be perhaps 6, 9, maybe even 12 months before we get the building permit and satisfy the condition of the special permit.
You feel it's a reasonable amount of time, Sean, to do it, or are they just taking their time and?
It's difficult to say. If the board is not comfortable with that, you could always grant, let's say, 6 months, and then they just come back for another, and then at that point, you gauge the progress they've made.
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah, I think I'd feel better about that. Allowing for a 6-month extension. Do you feel that that's adequate if they really move on?
What's that?
Sorry, go.
Do you feel that that's adequate if they really move this project? The whole point is, we just don't want it to linger. If you got a project.
Oh, no, I mean,
Get it done, yeah.
Yeah, no, we do want to get it done too. Basically, our request to the planning board to modify this condition is the Army Corps allows you to build the mitigation area while you install the arrays, but we need a building permit to install the arrays, so we were basically asking the planning board for the ability to build out the site as we do the wetland mitigation area. So, just to your point, we are trying to get this done as soon as possible.
So, I mean, relatively, just a matter of coming back and at the end of 6 months and asking for an extension again?
If they hadn't obtained a building permit by then, yes.
We merged the lots.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why we did.
Yeah. Sorry, just looking for clarification.
Is there something that we should know?
No,
We're really
well,
discussing
I just,
everything.
this project's has been before all three boards. I was just trying to remember what happened with the ZBA, so we're just clarifying.
I was
an
just
issue.
gonna ask, is there any permits outstanding from the zoning board of appeals?
No.
No, the application essentially became moot. For
Oh,
now.
wait,
Well, no, there's.
No, actually, no, it's good because we got the signed site plan. Sorry, I was thinking of.
Let me, you guys keep talking, I'm gonna look this up, but I believe that, well, I believe that they were given an extension, but I just don't know if it was 6 or 12, and.
By the
so-
ZBA you're
I was
talking
thinking
about?
of a different one. I was
So
thinking
they
of-
don't have the ZBA's approval, total approval yet?
No, we do. It's fully approved. He was asking about the extension and I got confused on a other
Okay.
site that we had.
All right.
And it's fully approved at the planning board.
They have a signed site plan, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
And you guys have the executed pilots, all the permitting agreements got filed today, actually, so.
Yeah, what was the pilot anyway?
It's the standard one, right?
8,000?
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
yeah, state license.
Yeah. Yep, it is 8,000 per megawatt.
Okay.
And how many megawatts is it?
There's 2 sites. One I think is like 4 and the other's 5.
Right. Yeah, 9 times 8,
So, I mean,
72,000.
you feel comfortable with the September date, or you want them to come back in 6 months from now and ask for another 6 months?
Yeah, I think I would
Is
like
it
to.
September, this 6 months?
September 6th.
Yeah,
September,
September is
6
6
months.
months.
Yeah, and then we can see what type of progress they
Okay.
have, if they're gonna need additional extensions or whatever.
All right, so that's what they're requesting. They're requesting a special use permit to be pushed out to September 12th, 2024 for both 1 and 2. So, any objections to that?
I don't have any.
No?
That's a,
Motion.
can I get a motion to approve the extension of the special use permit for Goshen Solar 1 and Goshen Solar 2 to September 12th, 2024?
So moved.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye. Got a half a loaf, you're okay.
Fine with me.
Yeah, that's why you have to ask for 12.
All right, and then on to the next one,
What's that?
review and approve the change order number 2 in connection with the roof restoration, DASNY SAM grant number 15575, and window replacement for DASNY NY SAM grant number 13108. See attached memo for Sean. You're here, Sean, so why don't you take us through it?
Sure, so you may recall back in November, you had received correspondence from the contractor doing the work, Dam Enterprises, that as they were installing the roof, they ran into some deteriorated gutter surrounding the older portion of the building. TAM had no idea to give you a detailed cost estimate at the time, because it's one of those things, as you start to remove material, the cost can, increase. So what you did at that time was you authorized a not to exceed value of $100,000 for replacement of a roof, which was what they had estimated. They now have completed that. That not to exceed estimate was based on time and materials, so now they've provided the material costs, they provided their labor rates, and they've submitted a claim to you, which I've summarized. There were a couple of issues I just want to point out with some of their supporting documents. They submitted a very lengthy package of supporting documents, about 40 pages. In there were receipts of materials that were purchased. Those materials included tax. When I reviewed it the first time, I had indicated this to them, and they reduced the amount of the claim by about $4,000 to remove the tax. So that's not included in the number that you're looking at right now. There were 2 items related to labor, which I just want to call your attention to. The first was that your contract does not allow for payment of labor rates for any supervisors or principals or anybody like that that's on the project. There was a cost for a foreman. The foreman was the owner of the company. However, I understand that the supervisor spoke to them, and the foreman owner was actually bringing materials back and forth and was actually working in connection with this. So that, I wanted to point that out to you, because that is an exemption in your contract. The other was that there was carpenter and labor rates associated with the work. They were higher than what you would normally see in this locality. They did indicate that those rates are in accordance with their standard internal rate schedule. You can pay something higher, but I just want to point that out because, again, that's also a little counter to typical contract.
How much higher, and what was the total amount?
The total amount of the change order was less than $100,000. It was $93,580.50. All right, and then the foreman labor cost was $11,000 over the whole time of the work. And the labor rates for the carpenter and for the laborer, they were charging, for the laborer and carpenter, they were charging $135 and $145. And typically you'd see about 78 and say 90 for those two rates.
I think, Sean, as you had said, apparently Tim does quite a bit of work for us, and that rate of pay seems to be quite high, but what you were told was that that was the rate of pay that we had been paying with other projects.
That is their standard rate schedule. I believe that would apply to you and anyone else that they do work with.
And they were low bidder.
They were the low bidder on the
And
project.
those rates are baked into the cake when they submitted the bids.
I can't speak to that, but you would assume yes.
Well, if that was the rate there.
So what's the total difference from the 75 and 90 to the 135 and 45 on based on total hours? What's the dollar amount?
I didn't do that, I apologize. It'd be several $1,000s, so.
I think we need to know what that is. I mean, that's quite a differential between what they were charging and what the standards were. So what are you asking for tonight?
Well, they've submitted a claim under the contract. I prepared change order as I'm required to do, and I submit that to you for your authorization. There's a couple things that you could do. You could accept it as it is. That's the $93,580.50. Again, that was under the $100,000 that they estimated and you approved on the T&M rate back in November. You could then say that you want a reduction, all right? You could authorize the supervisor to execute a change order in X amount of dollars, let's say $90,000, just put a number to it. Or you could ask the supervisor and myself to go back and negotiate a number with them. But, you know, when that occurs, there's time involved and there's expenses that you pay for me to do that, so.
Well, why don't we take it in two steps? I can attest to the fact, because I was here every day, as Mary was, that the owner was here every single day, taking stuff back and forth. So does anybody have a problem with him getting the $11,000? George?
No, I haven't.
Doug?
Problem with that.
All right, so that takes that off the table.
Right.
So the only thing we have to talk about, and I don't have a problem going back to him and discussing it, if he wants to go back to him and discuss it and see what it comes down to. I mean, we can do that. But can we pay the total amount with the 11,000 and hold out the other stuff to get them paid, or no?
You could, but it doesn't make sense to do that. And I'll give you the reason it doesn't make sense is a change order formally modifies your contract. In order for you to pay that, you need that modification in place. So I'd have to go back, draw up another change order, come back to the board. What I would suggest you do is to authorize the supervisor to execute the change order for any amount less than the $93,580.50, right? And then whatever it comes down to, I don't have to come back to you in 2 weeks. We've already done that authorization, the supervisor signs it, and then we can proceed with closing it out and getting the reimbursement on its way.
Give me the authorization not to exceed the 93,000 or whatever.
Right.
And then you negotiate whatever the labor rates are.
With the supervisor, yes.
I think that's a good halfway point.
All right, so, Mary, do I need a motion on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I need a motion to approve the change order number 2 in connection with the roof restoration. That change order is not to exceed $93,580.50, and the supervisor will go back and discuss the labor rate for the laborer and
Labor and carpenter.
carpenter.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So when I reviewed the actual labor, the hourly rates there, it was $40 an hour was the carpenter. But of course, that did not include all of the benefits that he has, his health insurance,
Yes.
union dues, I guess, and all of the other types of things, which then comes up to the figure of
90.
75?
No, for the carpenter, it would be 90 typically.
$90.
Yeah.
So what we're discussing here, the difference is between 90 and 145.
That's correct.
Right.
And is 90 the prevailing wage rate?
Yes, it's very close
That's
to what it
okay.
is. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not questioning that at all, we're just questioning the fact.
The differential.
The difference. Right. Got it.
And when he submitted his bid, did he have to give us the hourly rate on them?
No, that's not.
So he based his price of 93,580 based on the fact that he thought he would get 135 and 145.
The 93,580 was based on his standard rates, which is the 135 and 145.
When he submitted the lowest bid, when he did his calculations, that's what he calculated on, and he was still the low bidder.
Yeah, if
So
I'm
I
not-
can understand why he did that, but we should be able to make a better deal, I would think.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he was substantially lower than the next
Yeah,
three bids.
yeah,
correct?
right.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good.
Is there anything else for me?
No, no, we're good, Sean. Thanks for coming out, appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is we got a request from JRC for $5,000 to assist with the purchase of 5 new resident picnic tables. There's a-
What about CSEA?
Oh, sorry, I'll go back to that, because I already went through this, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so they put a request for $5,000, as you're all aware, that we so generously gave them the money, or we paid for a new pavilion up there, and now it looks like an empty thing, because they have no tables. So, they're pretty expensive, but I can tell you that the resident tables that they have on the other pavilion, which I think are, gotta be 20 years old, are in great shape.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah. Does the village chip in for any part of that? I mean,
this-
I'm a village resident, but
On this particular thing, no, because the village is getting ready to chip in a substantial amount of money in the restoration of Erie Park.
Okay.
So I just told her to come to us.
So set, okay, sure.
Do I need a motion for that, Mary?
Yes.
Do I get a motion to authorize the JRC $5,000 to assist in the purchase of 5 new resident picnic tables?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in
For
favor?
discussion. Okay, and second for discussion. On the $5,000.
Sorry.
Is that in their capital budget? Why isn't that in their capital budget, or is it over and above?
I think the issue, and we can take this up with Trish, I think the issue is we run such a phenomenal summer rec.
Right.
We have so many kids that they didn't forecast that the amount of kids they were gonna get last year, and now they're sitting to the point where they need to do something underneath that thing. So the 6 tables that are under there were donated by the soccer club. But,
Okay,
you know,
yeah, I just think coming out of parkland fees.
Parkland fees.
We were in. Okay.
All right, so, can I get that motion, or we set the motion? Second,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a second.
Yeah.
I second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item number 4. Review and approve the memorandum of agreement between the Civil Service Employees Association and the Town of Goshen. As you're all aware, myself and George worked countless hours to try to get this. I think we got a pretty good agreement. Gives them, some nice raises over the years, and accounts for the things that we needed to get out of it. So, anybody have any questions on it? Bill? George? Want to do that on it? Doug? All right, so can I get a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between the Civil Service Employees Association and the Town of Goshen?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Review and approve the March 14, 2024 Town Board meeting minutes. Any comments on it? Questions?
I don't have any. I'll make the motion that we accept the minutes of March 14th.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda, as everybody knows, we're going to elimination of paper in the town, so I need we approved purchasing tablets for the planning board. We went out and got it, we're utilizing ARPA funds for it. So I need a motion to approve the 9 tablets for $9,899.91 for the planning board.
Second.
For
All in favor?
discussion.
For discussion.
Yeah. It looks like he's going to do about $1,000 a tablet. Are these specialized tablets or anything?
They are Microsoft Surface tablets. They're 13-inch. They're much bigger than ours because they need to be able to get.
Yeah, just want to clear for the record.
Yep.
That's excellent.
Yep, they're bigger tablets. That's why they're more expensive. Second that motion?
He did.
I did.
got it.
You did? All in
Just
favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we need, okay, information, the highway superintendent hired new MEO Jonathan Riley as of 3/15/2024. It was part of his budget. Okay,
You don't need a motion for that, to hire that person?
no, he's an elected official, he gets to hire whoever he wants, we just authorized the position. I did that, we authorized the position in his budget.
Right.
Okay, so I need a motion to schedule a public hearing on the amended special permit application for Pulaski Highway Solar One, April 11, 2024. That's a combined, correct?
Yeah.
No?
No, this is just us
Just us,
for the special permit.
okay? Any
But I
discussion?
think Kelly was handling the redraft of that while I was out, just might be the confusion of why, because she's on it. I just talked to, Alec Ladd was also on that, so he's aware of it.
Okay,
He's available by phone if you need any commentary from him. Just-
any questions from the board?
No. Make a motion? We need a motion.
Motion, yeah.
Motion that we set the public hearing for the Pulaski Highway Solar on April 11th, 2024.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay accounts payable check run for March 28, 2024, in the amount of $220,588.55.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Review and approve a request from Budget Officer Christine Cavallari to attend the finance school from May 14th to May 15th in Albany, along with Jen Blazy. Have a
So
motion?
moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay an annual AP run as of 2/28/2024 in the amount of $22,925.05. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Information only, Christine Cavallari submitted the AP review for 3/14/2024 is attached. All right, privilege of the floor.
Joe?
Would like to speak.
Can you just approve the budget transfer for the tablets, either to use ARPA money or the other one?
Didn't I do that?
You said
Said
ARPA money.
ARPA.
Yeah, but not the budget transfer.
Motion to purchase 9 tablets for 19.
No, she needs a different motion.
Yeah.
Tell-
Right, for the budget transfer.
Christine, tell us the motion.
Yeah,
It
it's not on
should, it
here.
should, the second sheet,
It's not on there. Nope.
okay.
So I need a motion to transfer the
How
funds
it's
from
on?
ARPA.
Right,
I'm
to
sorry.
take,
It's on the additional sheet I put on your,
Oh.
sorry, Joe.
Okay.
Right there.
I'll make it up. Can I have a motion? Can I
Oh,
have a-
yeah, right
That's
here.
this sheet, this sheet?
No, there.
There you go. What's going on here?
Keep going.
Just to transfer the ARPA monies to
Right.
to the expense account.
planning board tablets.
All right, so I need a motion
Equipment,
to
yeah.
transfer the $9,899.91 from the ARPA account to the planning board equipment account.
Yes.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Privilege of the floor. Into any residents? Bill?
Bill Troy, Town of Goshen. Joe, I'm just curious, is a copy of this memorandum of agreement with CSEA available to the public?
Yes. Yep.
And who would I see for that?
You'll foil it with my office.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just a quick, I have no problem with the purchase of the picnic tables, but it seems unlikely that the purchase of furniture is a capital expense. I would think that's more program,
Well, anything 5,000 and over is capital.
no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to have a length of useful use, right? You just
Well,
said.
not
the
really,
previous one,
it's just anything over 5,000 is what we
Right.
consider capital.
But there would be some things that would be over $5,000 that wouldn't be acceptable, right?
I would think so.
What do you mean? Well, maybe like software would really not be a capital
Something like that,
expense.
but I thought there was a useful life, and Joe just said the other ones that were resin are 20 years old.
Yeah,
and
you
still
talked about
Right.
depreciating it?
No, not, just, I
Yeah, I-
thought there was something about
Yeah.
a useful life over a certain period of time for equipment. To,
I was,
question.
We'll look into it. Can you look into that?
It depends, like, in what instance, if you're talking about fixed assets, I usually put anything 5,000 and over. Software is something that really doesn't depreciate, or on an accounting perspective, anything with the 200, extension is capital. And also that would be 5,000. So it depends what
Good.
Yeah, no,
sense you mean.
I was good with it to begin with, but then I was just trying to embellish it, so to speak, by the fact that it's gonna hopefully last 20 years or more.
Anybody else? Nick?
Yeah, I just found out I wasn't gonna be charged $450 for getting the meter installed in the house. The people that aren't conforming, are they still gonna be penalized?
What do you mean, not conforming?
Or people that are just saying, I'm not gonna let you in my house to
Oh,
install a meter?
no, everybody's let us into the first two developments, right?
I do have a handful of homes that I've gone through a certified mail process to try and get confirmation that they're home, and that the home isn't vacant. I do just have a handful of reluctant homes, and if they do not reach the deadline, I'm giving them almost half a year of time. They will get the $450 charge.
And if they don't get water.
You can't shut
Can't turn
off.
water off.
I just have something to add, building off of the extension for the solar 1 and 2. Confirmation that ZBA extended to December of this year. So I think it was a 12-month extension in 23.
On what issue?
They had an open variance
They got a
request.
variance, so the variance is still open, so they haven't been approved. That's what I was asking.
That's the only notice I
We
can.
verified with him because he said it was definitely closed.
Right, but it's not.
That's where I just got the information, because I tried to pull it up, but
So
listen,
let's
so
follow
he
up with
said,
tomorrow.
I got a text that he checked the ZBA extension, it's good until December of 24.
He didn't.
He sent me the
Okay.
PDF, because I was trying to stay in tune here, but
Okay. Anybody else? No?
December 19th of 23, we gave a 12-month extension.
Okay. Going
He really
once,
doesn't have a
going
variance,
twice?
yeah.
All right, thank you very much for coming out tonight. Can I have a motion to close the town board meeting March 28, 2024?
So moved.
Second?